watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome to Inspiring Leaders. I'm Donna Chandler Newman, your host for our show, and thank you for watching our program. A couple of notes as we begin. During this horrific pandemic, we veered from our typical format, and our shows included leaders in the healthcare sector with important updates on the COVID-19 virus. We surely appreciate that timely and much-needed information, and of course, on our set and elsewhere, we continue to observe the social distancing responsibilities we all still have. And I'm thrilled now to shift focus back to the original mission of our show, highlighting the good works done within our nonprofit sector, meeting the leaders and the excellent volunteers of these organizations, and hoping our show continues to inspire all of us to work toward the betterment of our community. Now, all that said, today's show focuses on family and fun. And yes, we are talking about the Germantown Charity Horse Show. For more than 70 years now, this organization has promoted a family-friendly event that is downright fun for all. And what do they do with the profits from this terrific event? Well, they donate them to other nonprofit organizations within our community, and most recently to Kindred Place, a counseling and education center that specializes in family relationships. That's certainly a goal worthy of our attention and our support. Besides, where else can you go for such a family-oriented fun event and know that you're doing some good along the way? Well, in this first portion of our show, we'll meet Ross Herrin, president of the Germantown Charity Horse Show. And in the second segment of our show, Director-at-Large Mary Livesay will join us. And now, let's greet Ross Herrin, president of the Germantown Charity Horse Show. Hi, Ross.
Good afternoon, Donna. How are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome today. Okay, before we go any further, first of all, will there be a Germantown Charity Horse Show this year? And if so, what are the dates?
Absolutely. Germantown Charity Horse Show this year will be June 8th through the 12th, first full week in June, and planning is underway.
That is absolutely wonderful. I think I just heard a roar and a cheer go up. I think we're all thrilled to death about that. Well, okay, so let's talk about you. Ross, how did you get involved with the horse show to begin with? You've been involved for quite a while and been president before. How did you start off with them, and how long have you been involved?
I have, Donna. I've been involved, I just turned 47, so just about all 47 years to a certain extent. My grandmother, Nancy Livermore, showed American Saddlebred 5-gated. My mother, Kathy Livermore, showed Hunter Jumper when she was growing up, and I have a younger brother, Charles, that showed Hunter Jumper as well. I myself did not compete, but rode for pleasure, and years later, here I am, taking charge and enjoying every moment of it.
I bet you are. This is a really exciting year, too, isn't it?
It's very exciting, Donna. Last year, we were not able to hold our 72nd anniversary show. So this year, we will pick that up.
So you've been around for 73 years, and it's the 72nd show. And because absolutely nothing was done last year anywhere anyhow, right?
That is correct.
That's not just the horse show. That, as we all know, it affected all of our lives. So, yeah. Talk about the mission of the horse show. Why do you have it, and why is it important to us?
Well, the mission of the horse show is to raise funds and to contribute to charitable and civic activities. The purpose is accomplished through sponsorships of an animal through horse show, which also serves the purpose of educating the public about various breeds of horses.
You know, I would have sworn that the purpose of the whole thing was just fun, because as a sidelight, we all get to have a lot of family fun. The one thing I have noticed about it is that it is the most family-oriented event that I see around here. Do you agree?
I fully agree. Out of all the events held in Shelby County, this is the most family-friendly fun.
And bring your kids and bring your dog on a leash.
Bring your kids. You can bring your dogs. Bring your friends. Bring a babysitter. Anybody you can. There's not a person that will not enjoy coming out to the horse show.
I think you're right about that. Well, tell me a little bit about the history. I know you've been involved for all that time, but it's been around for quite a while.
It has. The Germantown Charity Horse Show in June of 1947, a group of fox hunters led by Bart Muller of Oak Grove Hunt Club decided to have a horse show at a parcel of property on Poplar Pike. Hospitality for guests included a square dance. You don't hear much about square dances anymore these days. By the 1950s, the charity show had been formed. The Charity Association, has been formed by the state. And the first charity to receive funds from the horse show was Boys Town. The present property was acquired by the Germantown Charity Horse Show Association and deeded to the city of Germantown with the warrant that it would always be used for recreational purposes.
Well, the Germantown Charity Horse Show Association included Bobby Lanier, did it not?
It did. Bobby was a wonderful man, and we're very sorry for his loss.
I am too, personally, as well as for our community. He has quite an impact everywhere, including on this television station, by the way. So he was absolutely everywhere.
Well, I started a utility company in 1950, and that's the first time I got involved. I was not on the board of the thing. Back then, we had to work our way up, and I worked my way up to be on the board. But I've been the president 2 different times, and I've been the executive director since 1996.
So, Ross, our horse show, the Germantown Charity Horse Show, is really a little different from some of the others, shall we say a notch above, because of various distinctions that we have. One of them is our affiliation with the U.S.
EF, the United States Equestrian Federation.
Thank you, yeah. What does that mean to us, and why is it important?
They are a governing body. They oversee or set regulations to ensure the safety of the rider, and ensure the safety of the animal, as well as making sure that there is a fair and equal competition amongst the riders.
You know, that's usually their function. This year, they're stepping into the spectators as well. They have some things to say for the safety of the spectators, don't they? They
do. While things are beginning to open up, the pandemic is still ongoing. The United States Equestrian Federation, in order to be able to continue putting on shows through the pandemic, has had to set stricter guidelines. So while things are beginning to open up here in Shelby County, and Shelby County is looking to change the mask mandate to a recommendation come mid-late May, the United States Equestrian Federation at this time is still mandating wearing a mask.
Oh, so that's going to cause an issue. You'll have spectators thinking they don't need to wear one, and yet you'll have to enforce the mask rule in order to stay with USEF standards, correct?
That is correct. We are hoping, as local jurisdictions begin to open up across the country, and the CDC has recently come out saying that they're going to begin to open things up more. USEF will follow along, hopefully by showtime. Other words, we will have masks on hand at the showgrounds.
Yeah, and so you will do whatever. You know, one of the things that's fascinating me with how you all are handling this year is that you're having to be completely fluid. The rules have changed several times since you started planning, haven't they?
They seem to change on a weekly, if not a daily basis. It's been very, very challenging.
I'm sure that's true, but you're being fluid and working right alongside of it. We're having a horse show, right?
We are.
Well, I'm excited about it. Now, what could I expect to see at the horse show? Tell me a little bit about how many breeds, how many horses, how many people.
Well, we are a multi-breed show, one of the largest and last in the country. We start in the morning about 7:30 a.m. with hunter jumper classes. We will have hunter jumper classes in the afternoon, maybe a few breeds classes. And then as we go into the evening, we'll have big jumping classes. We'll also have more breeds classes. We have about 7 or 8 different types of breeds, disciplines, if you will. We have the hunter jumper. We have carriage horses and ponies. We have Pasafinos. We have gypsy vanners, flat shod walking horses.
So a little bit of
there's...
something for everybody, right?
Exactly.
Tell me sponsorships, because all of those horses and all of these people, and you do want to give away money still to Kindred Place, as well as whoever else you want to support. Tell me about sponsorships. What will you accept?
We do, Donna. We accept any monetary denomination. Our typical class sponsorship starts out at $250 and goes up to our major sponsors begin at $2,500, $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, and if we get a $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000, we won't turn it down.
But you won't turn down my $10 either, right?
That is correct. We also have donor forms if somebody would like to make a donation. So if you want to be $25, $50, $100 donor, we're gladly accept it.
Oh, and I would never just give you 10, by the way. I completely believe in your cause and certainly enjoy your show. And speaking of, tell me about admission, because like everybody can go and everybody can pretty much afford it, right?
That is correct. Our admission starts out at $5 per person. It is probably the least expensive admission to any event in Shelby County.
Yeah.
Next to being free.
I was thinking that too. And so that's a piece of it. Another way that you make some of your money, if I'm not mistaken, is you sell ads in a program, right?
We do. We, in conjunction with the Kindred Place, put together our show program. While we work on sponsorships for the horse show, Kindred Place sells ads that are presented in the program.
So that's another way to help. If I'm out here and I want to help. So what can I do to help the horse show? It looks like, for one thing, you want me to attend, right?
Absolutely. We want you to attend. We want you to come out and enjoy the wonderful Germantown commissary barbecue. We have corn dog, funnel cake vendors. Mem Pops will be there. Parker's Water Ice will be there. And I believe they're bringing a new frozen coffee drink this year. So
it sounds like so much fun. Tell me the dates one more time. It's the 8th, the Tuesday through the 12th, that's Saturday. And that ends with the Grand Prix that night, right?
That is correct. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much for everything you do. And thank you for bringing us the horse show this year. I'll see you there.
Well, we look forward to seeing you there, and to the folks out there that watching this, can't wait to see you as well.
I agree.
Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much, and thanks for appearing today, Ross. I appreciate it. We're going to pause now for a short break, and when we return, we'll meet Mary Livesay, Director at Large of the Germantown Charity Horse Show.
Stop! Did you know college debt is the second largest type of consumer debt in the U.S.? Why? Because the required interest paid on student loans causes you to give more than you receive. So why not prevent taking out student loans altogether? Learning how to manage your money is a great way to solve that problem, and there are many tips online to get you that head start. Don't wait until you're drowning in debt. Make college affordable now.
Texting and driving, honestly, it's not that worth it. Put your phone down.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back. Today we're pleased to welcome leaders of the Germantown Charity Horse Show to our show. We've just finished chatting with Ross Herrin, president of the Horse Show, and now we're pleased to meet Mary Livesay, director at large of the Germantown Charity Horse Show. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you today.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're here today. You know, you've been involved with the horse show for a very long time. Tell me how you first got involved and why it's important to you.
Well, when I first moved to Germantown, my kids were still pretty young, and we've always been kind of horse crazy, so we went to the Germantown Charity Horse Show. And my girls especially were enamored with the princesses. So when one of our neighbors stopped by where we were sitting in the stands, we asked, you know, how does a girl get to become a princess someday? And she looked at me and said, well, Mary, you just need to join the horse show. So I did.
I think that's wonderful. That's really great. Both of your girls ride, though, don't they?
They do.
So that's wonderful. And if I'm not mistaken, both of your girls are affiliated now with the horse show. One has already been queen, or tell me that.
That's correct. My eldest daughter, well, they've both been princesses, and then my eldest daughter was queen, I believe, I should know off the top of my head, 2010. And my younger daughter, Charlotte, is the queen this year. And she was last year, but since she's the only two-year queen we've ever had since we had to cancel the show.
Oh, you know what? That'll be a distinction forever. She'll end up as a trivia question, won't she?
That's right.
That's really wonderful. I'm very happy for both of them, and I'm glad that it's Charlotte that's going to be queen this year, right?
Yes, she's very excited about it.
Oh, I think that's wonderful, and I'm glad she's going to get a chance to actually do the job. So that's,
yeah.
You know, that is a big job. A lot of people are mistaken. They think it's just, you know, a pretty thing to do. What do those princesses and queen do?
No, actually, the princesses and the queen are a lot of manpower for the horse show. They are in the arenas throughout the day and into the evening, giving out ribbons and trophies and taking pictures with the winners and their horses. They also are the ambassadors for the horse show, and are really the queen is the face of the show for a year. So you might see her driving around in the queen car during show week, picking up lunches for judges or lemonade from Chick-fil-A for the welcome wagon. They do a considerable amount. Another thing the princesses do in the afternoons is serve the ice cream at the ice cream social. That's every show day at 2 o'clock. If you're on the show grounds and you hear them announce it, you can head to the Best Berry Pavilion for some yummy ice cream.
That sounds wonderful. You know, the one thing I know about your show that I know I didn't mention to Ross, he's a volunteer, you're a volunteer. There's actually everyone is a volunteer that works with the horse show. Is that right?
That's correct. The only paid employee we have is a bookkeeper, a part-time bookkeeper, and we desperately need her to keep us straight. So
well, that is absolutely amazing that you can run an entire organization with all volunteers. That's really amazing. You must need a lot of manpower for that, though. Where do you get these volunteers?
Well, we do need a lot of manpower, and this year, I think even more than ever, because of the different restrictions that are in place due to the pandemic. So we have over 100 members of the horse show that will be put to good use, but we could always use more volunteers from the community. So if anyone is interested in being a volunteer at the horse show, it would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never been a member of the horse show myself, though I have been there to take up tickets for you and do programs. I don't know. I've volunteered a number of times, so I know you don't actually have to be a member. You welcome all hands, don't you?
That's correct. We don't turn anybody down.
That's good. And by the way, I will say this to anybody who's considering it. It was so much fun because you saw 1,000 people you knew who were visiting, and it just was fun. You know, it was just a fun thing to do.
It is fun, and plus, if in the ticket sales, you're in the air conditioning, so that's a perk.
They didn't tell me that. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. That's
some others of us are out in the heat, so it's always kind of nice to go visit them in the ticket office.
Yeah,
that's where the air conditioner
I know. It's really a lot of fun, though, so that's a good thing.
It is a lot of fun.
So, you know, the city of Germantown and the horse show have a very long history as well. The city does things for you, you do things for them. Tell me about your relationship with the city.
Well, really, we are partners in this. We couldn't do it without them. And I think that the horse show is an integral part of the city of Germantown because during that show week, we bring a lot of income into this city. There are exhibitors who come from all over the country. But in turn, we couldn't do it without them. We have a police presence at the showgrounds every day throughout the day and into the evening. A lot of the upkeep, they take care of our grounds throughout the year. They are responsible for paving when that sort of thing is necessary. So I consider us partners.
I would think so, and and you're right. You bring a lot of tax revenue for the city as well. So there's a nice trade there, if you will. They are very helpful to the horse show, though. I know you couldn't do it without them. I've been ushered in by the police before many times as to park here, park there. So that's good.
Yes.
It really is. Well, so when I look at the horse show, let's say that I've never been before, what should I expect?
Well, if you were to come during the daytime hours, the exhibitors start competing by 8 a.m. at the latest, and those will be the hunter jumpers. If you want to see some beautiful horses and beautiful riders jumping in all three arenas, come during the daytime. It is warmer during that time, so a lot of people come. Our biggest crowds are in the evening, and of course it is during a work week, so we get more people in the evening. But in the evening, you'll see all different kinds of horses. You might see some jumpers. You'll also see Pasafinos and carriage drivers and gaited horses. And one of my personal favorites are the Gypsy Banners, and we have a lot of Gypsy Banners coming this year. Those are the horses that look like princess horses with the beautiful long manes and long tails and fancy hair on their ankles. They're gorgeous animals.
Yeah, I learn a lot every time I'm there about the various breeds. One of the things that I'm really excited about, and I keep hearing this in the community, and so you get to tell us about it, though, okay? I hear that Bobby Lanier, who we know was on the original Horse Show Association, is being honored this year. You guys are making a memorial to him. Tell me about it.
Yes, we are. And this is another joint venture, really, with the city, because if you are familiar with the horse show grounds, you turn onto Melanie Smith Lane, and it is a 2-lane road with a fairly wide median, with kind of sections of median. And one of those is going to be devoted to the Bobby Lanier Memorial. So the city will begin work on their part in July, and building up that median and putting in a nice gutter and, kind of the surround part of that you would see on a city road. And then it's going to be a lovely memorial to Bobby that that would be inviting for anyone to sit and reflect, and there will be information about the horse show and the history of the horse show, and it's going to be very special. I think he would have loved it.
Oh, I think that's terrific. You know, he was really pivotal to so many organizations, and I was telling Ross earlier that he was pivotal to our station here and was president of our foundation for years and years and years. So I'm very glad to see him honored.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, we're very happy to see him honored. So if you had one thought you wanted to leave with everybody for how much fun they were going to have at the horse show, what would be your thought?
Well, we're lucky that the COVID restrictions are easing a bit. We do, as well as abiding by the Shelby County guidelines, we also have to abide by the U.S. Equestrian Federation guidelines.
Right.
So folks will still be required to wear masks at this point, unless that changes. But it's an opportunity to get out. The weather hopefully is going to be perfect. I think it's going to be the first time for me, I think, that I'm going to feel normal in a long time. Just to be back with friends, watching the horse show. The kids will be there for the stick horse race and the costume classes. It's a great time to be with family and friends.
I think that's perfect. Family and friends. That's the theme of the horse show. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much for what you do for the community.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
I'm glad you were on today. Thanks, Mary. I'll see you at the horse show, if not before.
Please, I hope so.
And thank you for being with us today for Inspiring Leaders. We appreciate our guests on today's show, Ross Herrin and Mary Livesay, both representing the Germantown Charity Horse Show. If what you've heard on our program today has inspired you to learn more, to become more involved, to donate to the Germantown Charity Horse Show, and maybe volunteer, then please visit their website, GCHS.org. That's GCHS.org. Now, as a reminder, this year, the Germantown Charity Horse Show will be held on Tuesday, June the 8th through Saturday, June the 12th. I'll see you there. Now, if you're interested in the air dates of Inspiring Leaders or of any of our other shows on our television station, you can visit GHS-TV.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can keep up with GHS-TV by visiting our website. We hope you'll like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you for joining us, and be sure and watch us again next month as we present more Inspiring Leaders.